It's Friday night, December 17th, 2021, and we are at Oliver Lee State Park Campground in Alamogordo, New Mexico. This campground is a gem. The sites are well groomed with hookups, metal fire rings, tent pads, picnic tables. There are restrooms with running water and showers, hiking trails, phenomenal views all around, and you should definitely put a pin in it if you're passing through Alamogordo. We're also only a stone's throw from White Sands National Park, which we took some time to enjoy last weekend.
We're really sweeping over there.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So cool.
It's that time of year again. Shannon and I are on our way to visit family for the holidays, so this week I put together something special. 2021 the movie. That probably sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's a compilation of this year's experiences from start to finish. I think you'll find it a bit more thoughtfully composed than my previous efforts, so I do hope you enjoy watching. Without further ado, adventure is afoot. 2021 kicks off in rural New Jersey just after the holidays. I was back east visiting family and also to get a storage box and tire carrier for the new van installed at OK 4-wheel drive just before working my way west. I've been living in my orange Jeep since early 2017, and it is now early 2021. And as the past 4 years progressed of living in an SUV, I've been longing for greater creature comforts and more living space. Given my style of backcountry exploring, which often involves me squeezing the Jeep down narrow and extremely degraded tracks, I don't think there is a single vehicle, for my personal interests, that can serve as both a living platform and as an adventure mobile without sacrificing either comfort or capability. Thus I resolved to keep my orange Jeep, which is proven, it's paid off, it's tailored to suit, and it's extraordinarily good at what it does. Of course, I still longed for more living space, and honestly, a place to come home to at the end of the week, and that is where the Revel comes in. Well, I got the van stuck already. I am in West Virginia on a very familiar forest road going to a familiar campsite in a completely unfamiliar vehicle. And I was too close to the edge trying to go around this puddle, and I got sucked off to the side, and now the passenger side is in soft mud. I filled the ditch in front of the van with a firm bed of logs and deadfall. And if I can crawl forward just 5 feet, I can get the passenger side front up onto here. The driver's side tires are both on terra firma. That only leaves the passenger side rear dragging through the muck. If I can get 3 out of 4 with traction, I should be able to crawl back up onto the road. I was sweating bullets. The van was stuck for 2 hours and I thought for sure that I'd need to call for help. Fortunately, I was able to get out on my own, and I was pretty impressed with the van's capability after that. From West Virginia, I continued across the country to pick up my Jeep RNG, which had been getting some work done at Summit 4x4 Company in Prescott, Arizona. I got there just in time for a snowstorm. I'm at Summit 4x4 Company, picking up RNG in Prescott, Arizona. And unfortunately, really poor timing, it coincided with a snowstorm that's passing through the area. My plan was to get back into the Jeep and head straight off into the backcountry, but that's not happening quite yet. In order to escape the wintry conditions, I made my way to the Colorado River in western Arizona, where I enjoyed much warmer temps and seized the opportunity to take the boat out. The river is super calm right now. It is extremely peaceful out here. I'm taking advantage of these perfect conditions to paddle on over to Nevada. Sand people. That is Nevada over there. And that is Arizona. Well, I thought, alright, I'll just paddle as far upstream as I want because all I have to do is sit back and relax to get back to the Jeep, float downstream. However, I have 2 3/4 miles to go, and I'm not registering any speed on my GPS. I'm going to have to pick the paddle back up if I want to get back to the Jeep at a reasonable hour. Or I could just fall asleep here and get there tonight. I am impressed. Dixie National Forest delivers. It is one phenomenal view after another. I'm only at 4,500 feet. I have the mountains looming above me. They're snow covered. This is just an amazing setting. Not only are all the forest roads extremely varied and colorful, there is an abundance of phenomenal dispersed camping opportunities. Tons of beautiful established campsites. They're really good. It was at an angle, so it still might not have punctured the tire, but holy smokes. This is phenomenal. It's February 2021, and I'm in Lee's Ferry in northern Arizona, which is a stone's throw from Page and not far from the Vermilion Cliffs. I'm on a hike that follows a wash down to the Colorado River. It's a 4-mile out and back, and for the most part, it's a scenic hike through a canyon. Then, at the 1.5-mile mark, it gets fairly technical and reveals this. There were points in the canyon where I thought I was going to have to turn back, but after closer inspection, I saw very distinct roots down into the wash. So you don't need any special equipment, but you should be prepared to do a lot of scrambling. I'm going to keep working my way down to the river. This campground is a treasure. I didn't see any indication that it was back here aside from an icon on Gaia GPS. There are fire rings, picnic tables, and there is a vault toilet, which that's a pretty big deal for me. I really like vault toilets. Not in a weird way. I am so pleasantly surprised by this place, and I can't believe that I'm the only one here. Needless to say, I'm going to spend the night, maybe 2 nights. The Sonoran Desert in southern Arizona. Every time that I visit this desert, I have a serene experience just like this. The sun is setting, I've got a hot cup of tea, and it's close to, I would say, 75 degrees Fahrenheit outside. This is a beautiful place, and it's very much worth your time. In southeastern Arizona, we had the pleasure of hanging out with Tim and Kelsey of Dirt Sunrise. The duo travels the world together full-time in their Toyota Land Cruiser, and they share their adventures beautifully on YouTube. This is their former well-traveled Land Cruiser Goose, which they just replaced this year. Alright, it is Wednesday morning in Gila National Forest, and we're off to Gila Cliff Dwellings. I was up here before a few years ago, but did not go quite as far as the Cliff Dwellings, and it's something that I made a point to come back and revisit. A great shot, and the human figures in the distance really give you a sense of the size of the, not just the cavity, but the dwelling itself. This is great. It's cool. I mean, temperature-wise, just natural cool. I drove past there not long ago.
It's really cool. It's like this, only bigger, I believe. Yeah. Can you see the window up there? It's off the window.
March in central New Mexico at around 5,000 feet, give or take. Winter is not giving up without a fight. I'm heading north, hoping that the cold weather will soon subside. I'm not going to do better than this tonight. I've got great views to the west and to the south, full bars LTE cell service, and nice rocky terrain so I don't have to worry about mud. Now we're talking. I found this flat spot overlooking the canyon to the east. There's a stone fire ring here, which I'm not going to use tonight. I don't have any firewood. But this will serve the purpose nicely. This is exactly the type of site that I was looking for. I've been watching Lifestyle Overland on YouTube long before I had any idea that I'd be making videos myself. In April, I connected with Kevin to collaborate on some videos, and we had an amazing time exploring Utah's backcountry together. I like the Snow Peak Sandwich Maker thing, and I'll display its real name in my video. I have trouble saying it. Because your imagination is the limit. You can put anything that you have into bread and put it in that sandwich maker, and it usually comes out delicious. If you like watching adventure and questionable food choices, watch Venture Forward. If you like watching adventure and delicious cooking, watch Lifestyle Overland. Am I wrong?
That's true. How is it?
Passable.
That's all you need.
Well, this will sustain life. Slot canyons are so cool. The last time I did anything like this was in Grand Staircase Escalante. I think that was over 2 years ago now. There's a bridge up there. That is a sketchy looking bridge. It's a sunny Tuesday morning, and Shannon made delicious scrambled eggs for breakfast. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where's my hat? Oh, I've been sitting on it. First day with a new mouth. You know who's a really happy camper? Finnegan. When we find a nice place like this to park the Revel, and then when the sun comes out, Finnegan loves to sit outside. He falls asleep in his bed and just soaks up the sun. I think he absolutely loves van life. Today has been quite the overland route. I probably traveled about a little over a dozen miles from pavement to this campsite that I found. And the campsite, I got there around 1 p.m. and I was like, this is it. This is perfect. I need to spend the night here. So I promptly settled in for the rest of the day, and I don't have any regrets because, as you can see, this place is serene. A lot's happened between this scene and the last. We drove from Carlsbad down to Texas so I could meet Shannon's family for the first time. Then I drove the van to Pennsylvania for my son's high school graduation and also to have a suspension installed at OK Four-Wheel Drive. And then I was back in Colorado only a few days later. I'm still reeling from that long trip. This is it, the end of the road. Just shy of 12,000 feet. This shelf gets too narrow with the snow drift, so this is where I turn around. Although it looks like someone squeezed through at some point, probably in a side-by-side. The stakes are way too high, so that'll be a no for me. We made Colorado our home for most of the summer. First, because we had just been bouncing around the country like lunatics and we wanted to slow our roll. And second, because there is no shortage of scenery and adventure. The mountains are simply outstanding. High Mountain Pies in Leadville, Colorado. Delicious pizza, and believe it or not, I'm not a stranger to that establishment. I've been there about a half a dozen times. Pretty much every time I'm in Leadville, come to think of it. This place is ridiculously photogenic. It's late June 2021, and I am in Wyoming, in Medicine Bow National Forest and Vedauwoo Recreation Area. Vedauwoo is a popular destination for rock climbers and boulderers. As you can see, the forest is scattered with these enormous mounds of bulbous granite, I think. You clearly don't have to be a rock climber to enjoy this place. There is a very nice fee campground with paved spurs and it's well maintained. There are some lovely picnic areas and a beautiful day hike around Turtle Rock, which I'm doing now. I'm not sure how long it is, maybe 2 or 3 miles. But the elevation doesn't change too much without being high impact, yet still being very interesting. Moving on to the undercarriage, in my recent few videos that I've made prior to this one, I've been noticing something clunking and slapping and knocking around underneath here. Anyway, this one is nice and easy. This looks like the sway bar end link extension bracket is a little bit loose. OSHA intensifies. Out for some overnight backpacking near Purgatory, in the rain no less. This is something I'd like to do far more often. There we go. That is much better. Anyway, lasagna with meat sauce, mountain house. This is fine. I didn't hike very far tonight, maybe a little over 2 miles. But between the rain and losing daylight, I was worried that I wasn't going to find a place to camp before it got dark out. Fortunately, I found this wonderful tent site right next to a stream. It just fits my backpacking tent, and, well, I'm going to sleep well tonight. We're sort of on the southwestern edge of the San Juan Mountains, and I was looking at Gaia GPS there is a large network of designated forest roads in the area. We're so close to popular destinations such as the Alpine Loop that I feel like these other roads in the Greater San Juans are often overlooked. Silverton, Colorado, rich with history, rustic charm, unpaved city roads, wooden sidewalks, and a steam engine. This is as close as it gets to a well-populated town that never left the Old West. It's also a hub for four-wheel drive adventure, nestled among the towering San Juans of southwestern Colorado. I don't try to grow a beard, but as a dude, it is a thing that happens. And the problem is that it eventually gets so big that it interferes with eating certain meals, particularly Mexican, with melted cheese, sour cream. So it just gets to the point where I need to do something about it. You're probably thinking, you know what we haven't seen Chris do over all these years? Shave. It would really be cool to see him shave. Said by no one ever. We went to the Revel rally at Purgatory Resort in Durango, Colorado. The event was unlike anything I previously attended. Well, that's not entirely true. It was much like any vehicle enthusiast rally. But not only was this one exclusively van-based, it was based on a very specific type of RV, the Winnebago Revel. Since the Revel is a four-wheel drive platform, the event did have a bias toward four-wheel drive adventure, but it's the first real taste that I've had in person of the Revel community. And I have to say that the folks we met were all wonderful. They were all friendly, they had curious, wandering spirits, and seemed to enjoy travel and adventure. At no point during the event did I hear people refer to their Revel adventures as overlanding, but in my opinion, that is exactly what they are. People with a penchant for exploration and the will to seek out beautiful places off the beaten path. My Jeep RNG is in Denver getting a rest, and I am in OK Four-Wheel Drive's brand new build, the Ramper. It is a 1-ton truck equipped with an Overland Explorer camp-hbe, flatbed camper. HBE stands for Hudson Bay Edition, and it's a bed camper that is mounted on top of an Overland Explorer bed tray. Awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna spend the night up here. It's Monday evening, mid-September 2021. This weekend I put the camera down, sort of. Well, we were doing camera work, but it was very casual. I gave Shannon the GoPro, I took some video clips with my phone, and Shannon was off work, so she, Finnegan, and I took OK Four-Wheel Drive's Ram 3500 on a familiar mountain track near Buena Vista, Colorado. We drove the Ram as high up as 13,200 feet, and then drove back down a little bit to spend the night. It rained a lot when we first got to camp, so for the remainder of the evening we were confined to the camper. But we listened to music, we had a good time laughing, and Shannon made an amazing dinner.
Still a little frozen on the inside, unfortunately.
Wow.
That looks yummy.
Melted cheese?
Melty cheese.
Of course.
Bon appetit.
This campsite is a good find, and the light really is this golden right now. I'm not messing with the white balance on the camera or anything. It's the setting sun at 6:15 p.m. reflecting off of the storm clouds to the east. What an extraordinary place to spend the night. The view is amazing. It's around 6:30 a.m., a little bit chilly, maybe in the upper 50s, lower 60s, and I just watched the sunrise over the Grand Canyon. It does not get much better than this. You remember that screw that I got in the shoulder of my tire last week when I was down in Arizona? No. That is a puncture. Well, I neglected to get that fixed too. And for the better part of the week, it was holding air just fine until just down the trail right there when the screw removed itself. So I suppose this is a cautionary tale. If you know you have a puncture in one of your tires, get it fixed before you hit the trail. This is early October in Oregon. Having spent spring and summer in the desert and the Mountain West, Shannon and I decided to venture up to the Pacific Northwest before temps got too chilly. We wanted to experience some rainforests and visit the coast before the year was up. While there was still plenty of fair weather to enjoy, as you can see, we didn't completely avoid the cold and we saw our very first signs of winter. I went into Safeway today and they had ready-to-heat meals in a refrigerator right inside the grocery store entrance. So I got chicken Alfredo. I am eating like a king tonight. It is very cold out. I don't know, it feels like it's in the 20s. It's easily going to be below freezing tonight. During our visit to Washington, I had the opportunity to take the Revel out and stretch its legs a little. The van is, first and foremost, our home and office, so it spends more time chasing cell service than exploring tracks. When I happened upon this gnarly section of road, I was like, okay, let's see what you got. And I did botch my line and got it stuck. Although I love the color of the leaves, these video clips bum me out, because this was the last time I was out exploring in the Jeep before the trouble began. It was as if 200,000 miles of adventure suddenly took its toll.
Come on, RNG.
We'd turn the key and hear the starter motor whirring, but it would engage the flywheel to turn over. So we drove the van to AutoZone to get a new starter, and I thought, alright, no problem. I'll get under the Jeep for an hour, swap it out, and we'll be on our way. Well, the ground was wet, it had been raining, all I had were very basic hand tools, and I couldn't unbolt the old starter for the life of me. I even split the only 15mm socket that I had trying to get the starter off. With a heavy heart and very reluctant to resign to defeat, I threw in the towel and called in a tow.
First time for everything. Sorry, buddy.
It's unsettling. 5 years of reliable service and adventure, almost 200,000 miles. Alright, RNG gets a pass.
Bye. Bye, Orangey. We'll see you soon. Beach?
Not to seem morose, we had campsite reservations at the beach anyway. We just got there a little bit late and we were short a vehicle. Cape Disappointment in the southwest corner of Washington is quite lovely, and isn't a disappointment in the least. Here's a little more backstory on RNG. I had it towed to a local Jeep dealer to get help with the starter, and they were able to swap it out quickly and easily. However, while it was in, they discovered another issue, a trouble code pointing to a cam sensor. They replaced the cam sensor twice, and the trouble code persisted, indicating there might be a genuine engine timing issue. I then took the Jeep to a reputable shop for a second opinion, and they agreed that it either needs timing service, or it might be more practical at 200,000 miles to get a whole new block, and I opted for the latter to give RNG a new lease on life. That's where we're at, and now all we can do is wait. I called earlier this week for an update, and they're still waiting for the crate engine to be delivered to the shop. I am expecting the work to be done sometime after the holidays, but I don't have an ETA yet. In the meantime, Shannon and I are traveling together in the Revel.
You've had that for a long time.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know you were waiting for me.
Is that the right movie? It's not as cool when it's my head.
I know. It's like a unicorn. Sorry.
It's okay. That's what we came down, right?
Nope.
We came down over there?
Yeah.
But we're gonna go this way.
Yep. Yeah, it's not varied. It's flat, which means I think we'll have all 4 tires down, which means I think we'll have plenty of positive traction.
Okay.
So it's right here, this part. This is the bottom.
Yes, this is the bottom.
It's rough,
Yeah.
but it's not very technical, so it's just point and shoot, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, love, that's good. Would you mind coming back to get me?
On my way.
Next to one of those picnic tables.
Goodness, I can smell the difference between two rooms.
That is a wrap for the year, but before I go, I have a couple of announcements. First, I bought a new 4-wheel drive vehicle. It's not in my possession yet, but the check just cleared today. It's used, there's not a straight body panel on it. It's also stock, so it's not kitted out or anything. The plan is to take delivery of the new vehicle sometime in January, and then spend some time driving it north, ultimately to pick up RNG. And then, when I get to Portland, decide whether to keep or to sell the new rig. It's an interesting vehicle. I figured this is a good opportunity to try something different, at least for a little while. And I might fall in love with it on the road, or I might decide that it's not my cup of tea. One thing's for sure, RNG is permanent. Whether or not I'm driving my current Jeep, I'm definitely keeping it, barring the unforeseen. It's built to suit, and we've been through a lot together. And the second announcement, which isn't quite as exciting, the next episode of Venture Forward will be released on Saturday, January 15th, 2022 on YouTube, and on January 14th for Patreon subscribers. Happy holidays, everyone, and thank you all for watching.